teaching me because you went and took the classes, paid the money,
No,
and got here.
not that. I'm allowed to have a difference of opinion.
Well, yeah.
Which I think is, again, back to millennials. Like, no, everybody has to feel the same. Everybody has to do the same.
It's this forced acceptance shit.
Exactly. And you can't be that way. You got to be a free thinker. You have to look at the media. I'll bring up another example. Donald Trump just had a speech out there. I don't care if you love him, hate him. Listen to his speeches. Because otherwise, if I come to you with a point and you just go, well, he's a racist. Well, I don't know. Did you hear his speech?
No, I didn't listen.
No. I don't listen to him because he's a racist.
I don't care if he's well behaved now. He's an asshole.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's crazy because he didn't seem very racist in that speech. You know, and
he cared about women too. That was a big part of it.
Donald Trump caring about women? No way.
Well, no, nobody. This is funny you brought that up because my aunt, who she's in real estate, so she has like bad blood with Trump. So when it comes down, it goes into it. So she told me, she was like, "Hey, listen to that. Listen to his address. Follow the budget because as a millennial, they don't expect you to follow the budget.
No.
You know, the money of how it's going to go." And when she started going down on it, it started getting into how he was helping women, how he's helping the drug programs, everything that he's doing to make an actual change and an effort to make something great again for the people who are now calling him a traitor or a Nazi or whatnot. We're not even taking a chance to listen, but we want to, preach free speech, but only if it's on our side. You know, if you don't like, say you're not okay with gays. Well, you're a homophobe. You're a blah blah blah. No, just like what the fuck? No, because I'm on the right side does not mean I'm homophobic. Like we both have a best friend who's gay. Who's been gay.
That we do.
You know what I mean?
And I would love for him to find happiness and get married one day. You know why? Because I don't give a shit.
Exactly.
I don't care. You know, I think this world has gotten turned into more left wingers and right wingers. And if you're a left winger, I gotta hate you because I'm a right winger. Mm-hmm. And I call myself more of an independent Republican. Because I believe in abortion.
You lean toward conservative, but you stay in the middle.
Yeah, I'm very conservative, but I don't want to get too much into myself here, but I believe in some things that I guess conservatives just aren't allowed to believe in, and that's the center thinking.
This narrow-minded way.
That's the narrow-minded way where it's like you either have to pick Democrat or Republican or Independent. There's 3 party choices.
As of now, there was more and more before.
Well, there's 5 on the ballot, but I mean, the only 3 that ever have an absolute chance of winning, and Independent is really, really stringing it along here, but it's Democrat or Republican, and I think that's bullshit. I think everybody should get to stand up there and say, "Look, this is what I want for our country. This is me." Like, who gives a fuck what my political party is?
Exactly.
Because we've evolved as a country. There's not 40,000 people in the country anymore.
True.
There's
True.
3 million people here.
Or
300 million. I'm sorry, I misspoke there. There's 300 million people here. You think they all need to be categorized? Half of them need to be categorized? I don't think so. I think that's cattle to the slaughter there.
I was talking about this with my fiance. A big issue was, I figured out this was the turning point of everything, the separation of church and state. We made the excuse that people's church and state couldn't go together.
No, I think it should.
Exactly.
I'll disagree with you on this one,
agree?
or you agree with it.
I agree that it should because it's. She has a boss who's basically Sikh, right? Indian, and his daughter goes to Catholic school, but she's still Sikh. And he said some wise things to me. And it's also kind of like a Masonic belief and a Gnostic belief is that even if you look at the Masons, they can go to any temple, any church, and pray to any god because they know the light's the same.
Okay, so you believe in a separation between church?
I believe that I don't believe we should separate. What's the point? We need because if we put it out there that hey you're different, and accept it, think about it.
Nobody's going to think they're different.
Exactly. No one's like
right.
And then you start looking at things. You look at the religion. The reason why most
I understand that.
I
think what church and state was more about is teaching it in school.
Oh yeah.
I agree with that because I was never pushed to believe in God in my house, and so I never really did. And then I got in my teenage years, and I was like, look, you know what, Mom, Dad, I think I'm going to start going to church with my neighbors just to see what it's about.
Exactly.
You know, I'm old enough now. I can make up my decision and I'll infer for myself. But I want to get a taste of everything. I want to know what appeals to me.
Exactly.
So I went to church with my neighbors, and then I went to a synagogue with my 5th grade teacher. And
how's that?
Well, that's a conversation for another time.
Okay.
But I went to all these different religions. I mean, I'm not going to say that I went to every religion, but I went to enough, and I. So anyway, I didn't see every religion, but I saw enough, and it wasn't for me. Religion wasn't for me. I don't know if it's because I didn't get instilled in my childhood, or if I was just old enough to kind of make up my own mind. But anyway, we're getting off topic.
No. It actually still goes into, because most millennials, they say now that they're not religious, or 4% are agnostic in the United States. 4% are agnostic. 75% believe that it's the root of all evils.
I'm not going to say I'm agnostic. I don't believe it's the root of all evil. Because agnostic gives you like a
spiritual view of everything.
Yeah, I'm not going to say I'm anything. I'm nothing. From what I've caught, and I'll give you guys a explanation later at later times. But from what I've got, is alcohol is really the only important God out there. Oh my God. I'm just kidding.
You're about to perpetrate a whole other stigma right now. It's like, and millennials decide that they'd rather spend their money on alcohol because of instant gratification instead of.
I make a shitload of money, Jeff. It's okay. I don't make a shitload of money.
I think that a lot of
before we go any further, we've talked a lot about millennials and what categorizes them. But what is the meaning to you, Jeff? What do you think categorizes a millennial?
Oh man,
I think from me talking, we all understand that I know what a millennial, what my definition of millennial is. But my
honest opinion is a lot of people, and I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to try to corner people and be judgmental, but this is the truth. I feel that a lot of millennials, and the reason why they're even labeled millennials, I could never call myself one, because one, I grew up and understood what independence was. I wasn't facilitated with all the knowledge that I should have been, and I learned that in my adulthood, since I turned 18, the law was, it was me. My parents, my upbringing, it had nothing to do with what I was now. That's that point. At center stage.
That's not fair. You were a Marine. They drilled the shit in your head.
Oh no. No, but that's the thing too. Is that even then, even when I became a Marine, and even when I was supposed to have this robotic mind, I realized when I came out, I wasn't dun dun dun. I can kill you in 10 seconds. I'm a Marine. Fuck you.
Because you know me better than that. It'd take you at least 11.
No, but I understood. I had this sense of my family's important, my country's important, but then there was a seed that had been sitting there in the back of my head this entire time.
Finally caught root.
It was that life itself was important. It didn't matter what country I was from. It didn't matter a flag. All this little shit was meant to divide us. But what I also saw too is how my peers had talked about how much they loved their country and how much they wanted something to happen, but they wouldn't act on it.
Right.
So I began to realize then that a millennial was someone who will sit here and they'll preach to you how they need to have something facilitated to them. They need this. They need to be supplemented. They just need. They want, but they never give. They'll fight for the wrong things, and they'll cry about the wrong things, but they'll never see the middle ground because they have nihilistic ways, nihilistic views, a mindset that is so selfish that the only reason why they even congregate together is because these people are so selfish. They know that with power comes numbers.
Oh yeah.
And so these people are sitting here to me, and it's the Facebook activists who will tell you to do something but won't do it. It's the person.
You mean the Now This videos?
Yeah.
The ones who, which by the way, back to my point about Donald Trump earlier, is I watched this whole speech for an hour and 4 minutes.
Yeah.
And Now This had trimmed it down to 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Yes. You can't even get that's what I'm saying. Yeah. You can't even get the bulk of the meat of potatoes.
Yeah. This is where people's information is coming from.
The millennials are the people who are susceptible to take any knowledge but refuse to be the person to go figure out if it's really there when they have it in their hands. You don't really love your country. You're not putting your fucking feet on those yellow boots.
Because you don't even try to understand your country.
Exactly.
Where it's going to right now. What's going on. You watch a 2-minute BuzzFeed video and you think you know everything about Donald Trump and his campaign and this, that, and the other.
You want to know what's funny?
But it's also on the other side. It's not just on there. It's, you hear Hillary Clinton, and it's like, oh, and now Republicans hate her.
Yeah.
You know, it's on both sides of the spectrum.
It's a ping pong game of bullshit. Now, if you go in my room and it has nothing to do with me in the military, it's because I actually give a damn. I have a constitution, a little constitution book in there. Because as an American, I believe I should not say I got this right, I have this right. I should be looking at the paperwork that says this is your right, this is your amendment, this is whatever it is that you are claiming. But these people don't even know what rights are. They don't work for anything.
Oh, yeah.
You're crying in your college classes. The ones that, for the majority, the ones who were given the slip because they were set up in this standardized box and were able to standardize tests because it was meant for their community. When if you look at standardized testing, it's not meant for the lower income places, the people who don't have built together families. Did you even know that? Even our California state testing, it's not meant for people in lower income places. It's meant for the people who actually have mothers, fathers, and homes.
Well, standardized test is a group test. It's to figure out where we're at as a society.
But it's
everybody gets the same questions. Everybody gives the same answers. We figure out where the 50% line is at, and it's dropped. It's dropped, and the lower the incomes get, the lower the scores get, and that's a fact. It's not meant for that, no. But that's the scenario that's being played out. And just because you're a lower income doesn't make you a millennial.
No, it doesn't.
There's a bunch of rich little prissy boys out there
who are millennials.
That I have knocked the fuck out in a bar because they're being an asshole, and they said they're going to sue me. I said, you got to find me. You know, it's one of these scenarios.
Yeah, it's like the internet. The internet made people forget that people used to walk up the doors as clowns and bust your fucking brains out.
Okay, I mean, like
what I'm saying.
There's a point where you start scaring people, Ky. Okay, there's a point where you just start scaring people, but no, it's you can't de-label yourself a millennial. All right, you were born in the era. You were born. Do you know what generalizes people as millennials?
Yeah.
It's certain events throughout the world that bond us together, that make us all be able to
Generation Y, X, baby boomers, so and so. Yeah.
It's one thing that makes us all kind of connect. And what they've kind of gone through is, the boom of the internet and 9/11. Like
technological advances, how addicted we are to it.
So we've all been able to we can all connect on one thing. If you put 1,000 of us in the room, we'll all find one thing that we can have in common.
Exactly.
So that's what makes us millennials.
And there's always outliers in the group. We can't generalize. That's the issue.
Oh, that's the problem. That's the problem.
So if we are generalizing, that means everybody's millennial. But if the truth is it's any statistics. And not everything is 100%.
Yeah, exactly. And I think maybe more of the conversation should have been tonight about is generalization of people. But that can go into another topic and another night. But don't generalize me as a millennial because. I mean, obviously you understand my meaning of a millennial is somebody that doesn't understand hard work. Somebody that wants something handed to them because they didn't get opportunities because their parents fucked up this world or your parents fucked up this world. Like, I don't make excuses. When I go to work and I fuck up, I fuck up.
Exactly.
I admit to it and I go, look, I just didn't think about it. Or look, it's Monday. I'm tired. I had a hell of a weekend.
I'm just,
But I don't say, hey, it's Monday. I'm a millennial. I had a hell of a weekend. I had to go stand up for PETA. And
when I was 16, my dad didn't give me the Corvette that I wanted.
Yeah. No, it's not even that. It's not about being spoiled because even like you said, it's lower incomes. They're catching on to this more so. Than anybody else is because
there's already a trap for the lower incomes too.
Oh, and that's definitely gonna be another income.
Another topic.
I'm sorry, I got income. I've been drinking Jack all night, people. but
no, yeah. So it's for both. The ones who are in the upper class, they usually are. And I feel like if you look at the demographics of all the people that we know in our peers, you can tell whose parents gave up on them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I don't want to get into which high school I went to or which people I know.
Yeah.
I don't want to call out anybody on here, but I've noticed that people that had a lot of things handed to them haven't done anything with their lives.
No.
And then I've noticed that people that have nothing but have nothing, have always tried to make something. You know,
more and more and more.
They've tried and they failed, and I've seen it, and it's crazy because I'm 24 years old. I've only been out of high school for 6 years, and I've seen